if I get Trippy in this next poll, I'm not making this video. But if I don't get her, I'm making this video. Got it? All right, watch this. Knowing my luck, I ain't getting nothing. And it's also because they changed the tickets the way they work. There you go. Are you for real? Regardless if I got her or not, I was still gonna be making this video because honestly, I wish I was very enthusiast or, you know, a little bit scripted, if you know what I mean. But honestly, this whole situation that's been going on, I straight up not happy with the current game state. I did want to like write the whole thing, but honestly, I don't really got time to do that, especially since now I'm employed and I don't really got that much time to like sit down and write a couple things. So maybe that's why the last couple months there hasn't really been that many videos. Now, exactly what really cost me to actually, you know, make this video out on the fly? Well, there's a couple things. Two of them exactly. First one, obviously one that most people around have been talking about, and is one topic that I've been actually craving and looking around to see if people have the same issue, and it is the current game state. Things like the end game, things like the ridiculous power creep, the HP inflation. I know there's people that defend it. I know there's people that don't want to talk about it. I know it sounds like we're all just complaining and whining. Where I had my game from a year ago. It just has to be addressed. Like there's just no other way. Right now, this is 3.1. Like you saw, I was summoning for Trippy and the Banner of Children. Before that, the version had the Herda and Aglaya, which for me, I was not interested in those characters. Is the Herda good looking? She good and all that? Yeah, she's good. She's good looking and all that. Is Aglaya good? That's another topic. But holy, never in my entire like life and in like any other game that I've played, be it gacha life service, single player with battle pass, looking at you, Ubisoft, have they ever catered to a specific character like ever, like before? Like if you played, and by the way, for those that will come and say, skill issue, fella, skill issue, investment issue, and all that crazy stuff. Let me show you something real quick. All right, let me show you. So this is button here called the Battle Record Showcase. When you click on that, look at that, 3 stars on Apocalyptic Shadow. That one was so shielded and catered to the Herda. It was absolutely just stupid. This level, this one right here, it actually made me uninstall the game. And made me uninstall the game for 3 weeks. I came back, got E6, Lugui, and Boo Hill. Oh yeah, I also got Face Out. Haha, look at that. It got to the point where it was just what I was fearing, where it was like, oh, GG if you don't get this character. Like, it just started becoming this game where it just pay to win. Beforehand, it was just a game that rewards you for the skills, for knowing the mechanics, you know, like actually learning the game. But now it's like, haha, if you don't have the Face Out team, well, good luck. If you don't have Super Break, well, good luck. If you don't have Sunday, well, good luck. You're not beating it. And if you are gonna beat it, buddy, be sure to either get like E6 S5s that to this day are outdated, or get super extremely lucky. Like this exact same team that I had, I counted them like right there, 53 attempts, 40 or 50 of them. And there was like that one, which is when I came back, where I actually managed to like 3-star. It was ridiculous. The new Pure Fiction, I saw a video, I won't even cap. I saw like a video of someone just going through a new Pure Fiction, because 3-starring it was pretty difficult. And they went for like some sort of like hybrid with like March and all that. I'll link it and I'll show you. You'll probably seen the person. I really like that person. Not that bad, but this MOC, it had the bug, like the True Storm, and it also has Nicador. To a degree, it's also showing the Herda and Aglaya some way or another. And yes, look, I beat it with a Jing Liu. Hey man, I'm a Jing Liu believer. I like me Jing Liu, but hey man, I had to use Jing Liu with true damage and Robin with true damage. That's the only reason why Robin is here. But no, I had to use this stupid true damage mechanic, which by the way, I don't think is that broken. It might be good. Yeah, it's all that. It can do some extra damage. For me, it's just like, oh, it makes the strong characters even stronger and it makes the weak characters hit a little bit harder. But that's pretty much it. Like Jing Liu didn't really hit that hard, but when you look at showcases of Herda, she already super strong and she's just doing more damage, all because of that stupid, just ridiculous HP inflation that they use to just balance the game. And it's just really lazy way of just balancing a game. If like, you know what, I've been going through like I've been yapping a lot, and I'm a visual person. I don't like just talking. So what I'm gonna do, actually, I'm gonna pull my trusty software here, which is my favorite art program that I use to do everything. Let's just take the line tool and let's just draw a line. All right, let's draw a straight line right here. All right, this line is gonna be the power base level, because I also see people that mention power creep and like just how actually like dumb and it's not real, everyone is still viable. Because yes, I do believe in power creep, that you know, every gacha game has power creep characters, it can be power creep and all that. I believe in that, absolutely. However, those games actually do it not as bad as this game. Like the fact that this game power creeps level is to the point where your previous characters are just negated in such a short amount of time, it's just completely unacceptable. And each character that is brought up to the game, like in different versions, they just increase the freaking power base level like insanity. It's so crazy when we actually look at how much the power base level of every character has been like gradually increased in a span of a year. Continue, which is the reason why I'm making this graph. Because like honestly, I have to show y'all exactly what I mean. So this line right here, this is gonna be the power base level. This is gonna be the base, of essentially like the required strength for defeating enemies or like clearing the content. In 1.0, the base or the power level base level was around down here. So who was the first character that came out? Sealy. All right, so real quick, we're just gonna put Sealy right here. So the game came out and then Sealy was around right here. So she was, you know, the game came out, she was pretty good. The next character that increased this gap, Kafka. Let's say Kafka, because honestly, Jin Yuan really did, you know, increase it by that much, honestly. Nor Blade. Kafka came out and then she increased that base level, power level, whatever, to like this much. All right, let's say like maybe around this much. All right, like that much. All right, she's doing, oh wow, ridiculous damage. She's like the new best character in the game and all that stuff. Okay, so she's right there. All right, and then Dong Hong, to be more specific, Imbiber de Lune, he came out. And then this dude, when he came out, homeboy was insanely strong. Like it got to the point where we were like, bro, shoot, this is insane. Like, look at that. Yeah. Like people were saying, bro, if this keeps going, the game's future is gonna be even worse. Guess what happened? The best character in the game, no bias by the way, she just came out and just said, yeah, I'm the new DPS now. Like, hey, what's good? There were characters that did come out that even though weren't as broken as the currently best character, like in terms of this power level, they were still pretty close and were still very competitive. And one of those characters was Ratio. This dude came out and was honestly like, I would say he was like around, he's like right there in the middle, maybe a little bit higher around like that. Was he weak? Well, because he's a hunt character, but like in terms of the damage, he can clear around the same amount of cycles at that time and all that crazy. So like this was acceptable. This is what I like, where the base level is set by whatever new character, and then those in the upcoming characters that would come out would either be at the same level or maybe just lower in this case, which is why I love Rachel so much, because even then, like, he's very flexible. I mean, let me shrink these characters like that, because the next character that I'm gonna show completely just squishes, like demolishes any other character that has come out in, like, you know, in 1.0 series. Like, boom, right here, human base. Now let me go back and shrink the thing yet again, because Firefly comes out after, and then with her whole super break gimmick and all that stuff and that mechanic, well, she also destroys freaking Akron, like mink. She up here now. She's the new base level in terms of power. Look at this gap already, and it's only been a year from 1.0, 1.3, 1.4, 1.6, 2.1 to 2.3, and it gets worse, because then the one and only Fei Xiao comes out, and then she's like another level like higher than Firefly. Maybe at this point, let me lower Firefly just a little bit so I can put some space on Fei Xiao, because holy, I'm not counting supports. I'm only counting the DPS, because supports, that's a whole different story. And even then, they're kind of, in terms of their niches, they're around the same. The Herda took these characters, and then she said, hey man, that power base level, now mine. Get y'all goofy heads out of here, and I'm the brand new queen. And you mean to tell me that there are 1.4 characters that can still be played and viable in today's day and age? If this isn't the definition of power creep, how can you be delusional? Do you play the game with your eyes closed? Do you like consume the game with your mouse, like licking the freaking like mouse and go like, so fun? Again, let me remind you, all of this change, all of these like gaps and characters that have come out that have been one-upping each one has happened in a single. I wouldn't have a single issue if this was, you know, like the Herta or Acheron power level was like, I don't know, like 4 years. Like this was like the 4th anniversary like power level that we're getting, and this was like the 6th, 8th or something like that. No, all this happened in a single year of the game's lifespan. Its first year. We're gonna get closer to like the second one, like, you know, like in 3.2 and all that. So I just had to showcase this graphic because I don't think people understand just how ridiculous the power creep and just the power levels that this game has provided. Like, it is just honestly ridiculous. Again, I beat all of the content, like 3 stars and all that, without getting those characters. I didn't pull for the FOMO, but holy, I almost did. I almost got myself a Herta. I almost regret getting a Feixiao and a Buhil. I almost fell and tried getting an Aglaya because holy. Because if it was, oh, just get the character, then understandable. Well, I might lose like a 50-50, but then later on, I'll get the character or something like that. And then I'll just give him a good team, a good light cone, and there you go. No, but now it's like, oh, now you have to get the character, get their light cones, get their teams, and then with the teams, they gotta get this, and then this other fella, for example, Acheron. Like Acheron, you gotta get her light cone, Jiaosha, and then with Jiaosha, like his idol and stuff like that, gonna make it stronger, or at least his light cone. Pela with a specific light cone and stuff like that. Just either get that or invest into some absurdly stats like 200 speed, like this ridiculous stats that no normal player, casual player that just loves playing the game and want to have a good time are gonna, you know, sit down and be like, do I have 40 crit value, guys? Heck no. The heck? You might be saying, oh, you haven't seen the developer notes, you haven't seen this, they said they're gonna fix this. My brother in Christ, I've read every single developer note. They said they're gonna buff older characters. They're gonna make these like little things right here. Oh, we see you, we're gonna make you stronger, be like up here. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then they just say, oh, but Castors and Anaxa, you still gotta swipe and get them, you know? I'm not gonna show it just to give you like some sort of an idea. Just think of Bailu and Silverwolf getting power creep. Thinking of it like that. And I know there's like thing where it's like, oh, it's not really that special and all that stuff, but I'm gonna say if they can, it's not about the ability itself. It's more about the implication in the practices. That they just get away with that and they just allow it, ship it, release it, and we good to go. We get the bank and all that. Bro, the fact that they might even continue doing this with future characters and just locking these absurdly strong like feats and stats like that, that's just unacceptable. That's a whole nother level of FOMO that I don't want to like have no knowledge about it, but if we don't speak up, we're gonna be living on it, and I don't want something like that. All right, I don't want this game to become pay to win. And then comes the story. Honestly, I won't really mention too much of the story. Like the story, I won't even care. I did not like it, and it's not because the story was terrible. It's just, why is it 10 hours of good substance but poor delivery? Dog, I'm gonna show a screenshot somewhere when I do. I wish I had it on my computer, but that story, I did not believe it was actually 10 hours. But then I actually calculated the amount of time it took me to finish the entire thing. There's a reason why I'm very disappointed with the story. At the very least, the way it was presented. Dog, like, what? Like, hey man, what do you mean that I gotta be like out here standing like this for 10 hours with sprinkled with a little bit of combat and then like some dialogue about like these titans and like the wars and like the things that happened back then, and then it's just like, bro, do you not know like the freaking animations they've done, the shows and the series they've done with like Impact Third, bro? It got like what, 3-4 animes, but they don't got the time or resources to actually implement that in their games. And I'm saying this because, you know, there's gonna be people who are gonna say, oh my god, you're not liking the story in a story-based game? Heck no, especially the storytelling. Why does DDLC has better story and storytelling than a freaking game that generates millions and millions a week, a month, and billions a year or something like that? Again, this wouldn't be an issue if the storytelling was like throughout the 10 hours, like we could actually see like, you know, the titans in the game, by the way, in the game, not in some like 2-minute, 5-minute YouTube short. No. Like in the game, actually show us like about Titans, something about Mighty, like actually showing Mighty back then. Maybe in this quest in 3.1 to show it, but hey man, I've heard that it's 6 hours. I'm not gonna be sitting there for another 6 hours. I need them to show it. Show me Mighty's past. Show me Finon's motivation. Agalea and Trivi's actual, like, you know, past or something, because they're demigods or something like that from what I remember or something like that. Don't tell it. Show, like, and not showing it by like, oh, black and white screens describing the scene and stuff like that. No. Actually give me like screenshots, like illustrated pictures that actually have more than a single frame, maybe like 5 frames, because that Agalea freaking illustration, mad good. My brother in Christ, couldn't you add like an extra 4 or 5 expressions? Oscar Lane does this every single time with their brand new characters in their live 2Ds, and they're like, when they present a character, they got, even with skins, they show like at the very least like 6 or 7, and other gacha games do this, where they show like more than like 5 or 6 expressions. Why does this game can't do it? In short, the state is horrible. The power creep is terrible. The upcoming characters are definitely gonna ruin the game if they greenlight what they're doing. HP inflation is frustrating because it's very lazy way of actually balancing the characters. Game modes, they cater to characters a lot. Like, in my opinion, if you want to show a character that's really strong, show it in their worst state. Like the Herta, like rather than having multiple enemies of ice, give enemies with ice resistance and like weak to AoE attacks, and look, Herta still destroying it. That's a better way, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't glorify them and like make them, oh look, they're really strong, but then, you know, they take out the buff and they're just absolute doo-doo water. And the story, well, just describe your story better. Actually show freaking cutscenes and show what you're actually saying, rather than just saying things just to say it without a payoff or something like that. Because again, I know exactly why they're doing all this. It's just none of the things that they're doing favors the players, only favors to them, and that is not good. I don't know how people can just defend it or just be okay with it and be like, this is so delicious. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Just be civil about it. I just want to know if y'all feel the same way or not. And with that, I'll see if I can write the other WUA video that I had with the little time I have. But it'll come.